Hello from the Golan Heights, a very special region of Israel. When you drive around here, all you see is this plateau, but if you know where to look, you'll find beautiful waterfalls, rivers, viewpoints, and amazing stories. The plan for today morning is to just drive along the border and see what history we can find. After driving for roughly 10 minutes, we were already only about 200 meters away from the 1974 ceasefire line and a kilometer away from the abandoned town of Old Kenetra that lies across the border. It was then that I noticed a two-floor house just off the road that looked like the skeleton of a school that could have been built in the Soviet Union. That assumption was confirmed when we learned that the building was indeed built by the Soviets. It was a strange sight, and of course we had to pull over. Turned out what we found was an abandoned Syrian military headquarters that is directly connected with the story of Eli Cohen. Cohen, who was undercover in Damascus and served a major role in Israel's safety during the 60s, came to this building to get permission to travel in the Golan Heights. This is Mount Bental, which used to be a volcano, and we can actually see the crater itself. Now I am on Mount Bental, which has one of the best views you can have of Syria from the Golan Heights.
Syria.
Well, over there isn't Syria, but right there, that's Syria.
בשנת 67 אני הייתי בקונט. אני נלחמתי בירושלים בארמון הנציב וסור בכר בסיירת הירושלמית. מיד לאחר מכן היינו כאן במילואים. הייתי פה בקונט חודשים רבים. היו פה התקלויות לא מעטות, עם לא מעט סורים. היו כאן כל מיני אירועים.
יש אלמנט של נוסטלגיה כשאתה מסתכל על זה?
שום נוסטלגיה. שום נוסטלגיה. לא אהבתי את זה לרגע אחד. בחורפים, גשמים, שלג,
כן.
התקלויות, לא נעים.
יש איזשהו רגע אחד שאתה זוכר הכי טוב מהזמן או בקונטה?
אני זוכר פעם ששני מחבלים נכנסו אלינו כאן.
כן.
כן, אני זוכר.
It's insane when you understand that Syria, the country you hear about so much on the news, is literally right here, a kilometer or two away. And when I was talking a little more with that guy, unfortunately I didn't film that part of the conversation, he told me that his father, who fought in the Independence War in 1948, told him that you won't have to fight here anymore. I'm doing this job for the next generations, and unfortunately even his grandchildren have to fight. If there is one thing I love to do, it's finding strange places, and I think I just did that. So the reason there are these white houses in the middle of a field standing here completely empty is that this is training ground for the IDF, and soldiers come here to actually practice. It's important to say that the Golan Heights have been inhabited by people since prehistoric times, and you can find remnants there of various epochs, from the Romans to the Crusaders and more. And I'm just more interested in recent history because you can feel its impacts much more directly when you travel there. But now we're going to see a place that really represents many of the transitions and historic periods that the Golan Heights have gone through. This is the Nimrod fortress, built mainly by the Mamelukes in the 12th century. It is insanely big and especially moving, being located on this mountain. Walking around here, you see certain parts of the castle that are completely intact, and then other parts that have been absolutely destroyed. And the castle has been renovated by a few different groups, and even the Mongols came here. This is so insane. I never imagined there's such a place here in Israel. A mosque covered in graffiti is a pretty surrealistic visual by itself. The Syrians certainly left many signs of their former presence in the region. Evidently, most of them are military or military-related structures that have stayed in good shape, as opposed to the Syrian villages that were comprised of quite primitive houses which crumbled without any maintenance, becoming just piles of rocks. And now, the barracks and bunkers are almost the only things that help us piece together a picture of what the place was like at the time.